to this month's Midlife and Thriving newsletter, where we are guiding midlife women back to the most important relationships of their lives with themselves. And joining me this month is my very lovely and wonderful friend, Karen Ramirez. Karen is a communications specialist and business owner whose experience spans multiple sectors, from sports to travel, international banking, security and charity. You've got a lot going on, Karen.
Yeah, been there, done that. Been round the block a few times.
You absolutely have. But...
in the best possible way.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today on this topic, which is all about collaboration and self-care.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy we've got to this point.
Yes.
After, a few years of friendship and business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's dive in and let's start with self-care. So when you hear the word self-care, what immediately comes to mind?
Okay, so for me, it's really about getting back to the basics. Eat well, sleep well, get some exercise, get some fresh air. If you get those basics right, then everything else follows. And I know within that there's not a sort of mental health side to it, and obviously that's really important. But I think if you can physically get yourself in a good place, then it really helps with the mental side. It's what I tell my kids when they're, my daughter's at university, my son works now, and they're sort of navigating life as young adults. And I say to them, what's your diet like? Oh, right, get some fresh veg in you. What are you doing? I'm going out with such and such. Right, okay, have a couple of early nights and see the difference it makes. Because actually going out on a bender or eating rubbish food because you're feeling so rubbish that you don't want to bother cooking, it doesn't serve you. So those things: eat well, sleep well, good food, exercise, get outside.
Yeah,
they're really important.
They really are. I think all the binging stuff is, they're little moments of pleasure, and that's exactly what they should be, little moments of pleasure, and then getting back to the fundamentals and the basics that you spoke about. 100%.
Yeah, it's what you do 80% of the time that makes the difference.
That's the one. So now that you've kind of shared those fundamentals of self-care, Karen, who do you see around you that kind of shows up doing those things? And do you emulate them or just kind of watch them from afar?
Okay, so I'll take the second bit first. Do I emulate them? Yes, probably in my own way. I think, I take inspiration from what other people do, as we all do, I think. Who do I see around me? Well, you, obviously. But when I say I do it in my own way, the Nordic walking at the moment, because I've got a dog, doesn't really work, but I do love getting out and walking.
Yes.
I do love getting outside. So people that I really admire are you from a close perspective. I've got another friend called Sally Wilkinson. She's another one who I really admire because of the way that she manages her life, her kids, her fitness. She's very similar to you. She's a PT, but she does things like belief coding. Yeah. She does she's got a guy who does yoga in her groups, that sort of thing. So I really love what she does and really, watch what she does and how she does it, and have taken some bits from her as well. In terms of people that are further away, so if you think along the sort of celebs or well-known personalities, I'm a real girl fan of Anita Rani. I think what she's done as an Indian woman in every aspect, in her personal life, but in her professional life as well. Yeah. She has such a breadth of, presenting on Country File, presenting in Woman's Hour, really being an absolute champion for Bradford, which is, I think, her hometown.
Yes.
I find her massively inspiring, and as I say, I'm a bit of a girl fan. And then people like Ben Fogle. So Ben Fogle is quite open about some of his mental health or some of the struggles that not struggles, but just, he has ups and downs like all of us. And with him, what I like is he'll put posts up. I follow him on social media, and he does long form. So he goes quite deep with the stuff that he does. And I think in a world where we're all wanting sound bites, it's really refreshing to see that. So I'm a fan of his.
Yeah, I like you. I do like to see long form sometimes, because I think, Otherwise, it's very surfacey all the time.
Yeah.
And actually, sometimes we need to get down underneath, because that's the stuff that really helps us.
Yeah, we need to get under the bonnet, down and dirty. That's, that's important.
Maybe that'll become a catchphrase.
Getting down and dirty. Yeah, it sounds like us, doesn't it?
Does it? Now, when people hear self-care, they often think about having to do everything on their own. What does being alone or doing things on your own feel like for you? Is it something that you love or hate?
I love it. I have to say I love it. I love running with my dog on my own. I love going for a swim on my own. I'm very, very comfortable in my own company. And to be honest, I think I am too much. And I think I've always been like that. I've always been comfortable in my own skin.
Yes.
And I've never needed people around me. But I think generally since COVID, we've all got a little bit more insular. I look at events that maybe I go to or I would have gone to in London or locally or overseas. And I think we're all a little bit more, I'm not sure I can be bothered. I don't know if I really want to. The train, am I really going to spend 200 quid on a train fare to London when I could do that on Zoom? And that's a shame, because I think we do need human connection. So I am making much more of a conscious effort to go out, to go to meetings, to go to bigger events.
Yes. Because
I think it's too easy for us all to retreat, and that's not healthy.
Yeah. And I feel exactly the same, and I have been the same. Again, thoroughly enjoy my own company. Yeah. Can very easily take up my time doing my things, and having now to kind of encourage myself to go out and to connect with people, because it is so important, and there's so much value in doing so.
Yeah.
So how do you incorporate self-care in both your personal and professional life, Karen?
Okay, so there's one thing that I do that really hits both those markers, and it's my morning routine. So quite a few years ago, I read something called Hal Elrod's Miracle Morning. And Hal Elrod talks about prepping the asset, setting yourself up. I think it might have been the coach I had at the time. He talked about prep the asset, and the asset is yourself. And Hal Elrod talks about something called savers. So there are 6 things that I do every day. And the savers stand for silence or meditation, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing or journaling. Now, if I do those first thing in the morning, I can guarantee my day will go better. And if I don't do them, I can guarantee it won't go as well. It's been an absolute game changer in both my personal and my professional life.
Yeah, I love that. And I mean, I have my morning ritual, and I totally know if I don't stick to it, if I miss it for any reason whatsoever, it really does impact the rest of my day, even in little ways. But I just think I could have had a better quality day had I made sure that I'd done them. Now, I remember, if I'm correct, coming on one of your Savers mornings.
Yeah, I did a week, and I'm going to do this again in March, called the morning routine. And it was literally, I think we did about half an hour, didn't we?
Yes.
Half an hour.
Yeah.
At 6 or 6:30 in the morning. So it's for anyone who really wants to get on track, or just to try it. Just try it. Anyone can do a week.
Yes.
You don't have to commit. You don't have to, commit to a big long program. But just 1 week, come and give it a go. And if you look out, then obviously details will be going up shortly. But that'll be coming in March.
Fantastic. So worth doing. And if you're in a place where you want to change or break some habits that are not serving you, and this is one of the great ways of doing that. And I loved that it was early in the morning. Yeah. Just kind of getting up. Even with your pyjamas on, you're still welcome.
Yeah, you can come however you like. But you do need to be camera on. So no nudity. This is a clean show. So
life can be tough. We know this sometimes. And when life is feeling really heavy, what are your go-tos? What are the things that kind of help to bring you back into the present moment, into feeling good again?
Okay, so there's probably 3 things, depending on whether it's professional or personal or both. The first thing is family. The second thing is Cornwall. And the third thing is a business retreat or a business day. So I don't find this easy. I find when things get overwhelming, my default is to retreat in. but I know it doesn't serve me. And I know that if I spend a day or even just a lunch with my crazy cousins or with my sister, then I will feel better straight away. The next thing I mentioned was Cornwall. So Cornwall's a really special place for me. It's a really special place for my family. We've done the same holiday. Let me think, my son's 27 years, so we've done about 27 years worth of 1 week in Cornwall, the same week every year. And it's really special. So either with them or without them,
Yes.
if I go to that place and I do long walks along the beach and I jump in the sea and I just take a bit of time, that will replenish me. And then for business, again, my default is to retreat and get very insular, but there are people in my business world who I massively respect, who always inspire me, who will always give me 1 or 2 things to go away with and implement the next day. It has to be a really practical type of day or event for me. I need things that I can come back the next day, get going, and that just kickstarts me again to get back on track.
Yeah, great. I love that you have family, because for me family is such an important part of my life. It certainly is. Like, it is my place to retreat to quite often when I want to feel held and listened to and just be all of who I am.
Yeah.
But I also love that you have a place. I love that you have I need to find my place.
Yeah, I think you do.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll take you to mine. You can have a look.
Yes, definitely. I'm loving that idea. Now, I think I mentioned earlier that, quite often when people think about self-care, they think of it as something they have to do on their own. It's this solo event that takes part. But we also know, and you've literally just given some examples of, the importance actually of being with others and how being with others can really fill our cup. And so with that in mind, what are some examples for personal and professional where collaborating really kind of brings you into your full self?
Okay, so personally, I play hockey. I'm club captain of a team where I live, and that team, in terms of the group that manage the hockey club, but in particular my team, my W2's team, with my captain, with my fellow players, we have so much fun. We work hard. We train hard. We've got coaches that are high energy, that bring all the motivation. And it doesn't matter. I mean, it's quite funny. I'm known, so before match days and before training, I'm known for putting a poem on the WhatsApp group, a bit of a mojo thing to get everybody going. And I'm sure some people think it's terrible. I don't care. I really love it, actually. And lots of people always come back to me. And I think they like it because they wrote me one back on my birthday. But that team of girls, women and girls, when we go out on a Saturday to play, we are one unit, and I absolutely love it. And it's clearly working, because at the moment we're top of the league, which will be terrifying if we get promoted next season. But right now I'm enjoying it. I have a swimming weekend that I do with 2 very good friends every year. It's a similar thing to my family. It's one weekend that we always do, and we swim, we go for long walks, we go quite deep on our conversations. We've known each other a long time, and I think we were saying before we recorded this that longevity of a relationship with someone and going through the ups and downs of life, some of it quite serious, brings a different depth to a relationship. And then business-wise, I went on a retreat in 2020 with a fantastic bunch of women. Obviously, we then went into lockdown. It was February, and literally about 3 weeks later, we went into lockdown. But I'm still in touch with a good core of them.
Yes.
And we were literally saying in the past week or so, we want to get back together again, which we do on not loads, but maybe once a year. And we can talk through the challenges in our business. And we have that hive of minds that really, even though we're in different industries, just having that business knowledge, the understanding of the juggle, because we're all self-employed or got our own businesses, it really, really helps to have that breadth of opinions and experience to try and put forward some suggestions that will help you move past whatever the block is.
Yeah. And I think that's always such an important thing to remember, is however long you've been in business, it's really easy to get stuck in your way of seeing things.
Yeah.
And so when you come into those groups and actually having other sets of eyes and just other people thinking, well, what about, and you suddenly think, oh my goodness, that wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah.
It's such a potent mix to have. So I love that. I love that very much. That's great. And that, of course, brings us to us, Karen.
Yes, the dream team.
The dream team. So we have decided to collaborate on a project. And I guess my question to you is, what makes you believe that we're a good collaborative team?
I think it's a little bit of a mix of everything that we've said leading up to this, and that is that we've known each other a long time now. We started off meeting each other through business.
Yes.
We've bonded over quite a few glasses of red wine in the Crystal Palace, which has always been great fun. But I think what really makes this work, joking aside, is that we have shared values. So as people, in some ways we're very similar, but in other ways we're very different. What we always have is that sense of understanding when things need to be serious, when we need to get down to work, but balancing it with some fun and some laughter and not getting too heavy about it all. And so I think we're going to be a great team.
Yeah.
We've never worked this closely on a project before, so we may get to the end and fall out. I don't know. You never know.
You never know.
But I don't think so. I think we've got enough balance as personalities and in terms of what we're trying to do here, and we're starting fairly small. To make this a real rip-roaring success, and if it does, we'll certainly be doing lots more of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I have a deep respect for you. I respect you as a businesswoman. I respect you as a friend, and I do feel that there is a lot more to our potential combined than we probably even know yet. So for me, this is just like first foot in the water. Let's see how this goes. I'm not expecting, you never know, but I'm not expecting anything to go terribly wrong. I'm always going to be thinking terribly right.
Absolutely.
But I'm really looking forward, because I also feel it will be a learning experience and a growing experience, which for me always matters.
Yeah. This is Project One.
Yes. Fantastic.
Project One.
Yeah. So we're collaborating, we're coming together. We've got this fantastic project, which is called the Inclusion Road Trip.
Yeah.
Would you like to enlighten people with what that actually means?
I will. And if anyone does outtakes, you can see the last one where I got lost down my own road trip. So our Inclusion Road Trip, it's a long-term vision. So at some point we want to be headed off with a bus full of people, somewhere remote, doing a real mix of work and pleasure and exercise. So we want to really embody what we talk about in the actual trip, which is all the stuff around families, around finances, around work, those sorts of things. We're going to have lots of fun in it, and we'll have things like hot seats and masterminding, all that good stuff. But we're starting small. We're starting with Project One location, keep it simple, and it's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be brilliant. And it is that real mix, isn't it, of personal development, health and well-being, and business. And really, because these are kind of pillars that we kind of always end up going to, so what we're doing is really kind of pulling them into this one project and giving quality time to each of those things. Yeah. Brilliant. So looking forward to it.
I know, it's going to be fantastic. And you get the two of us.
Oh my goodness. Value.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. Now, the Inclusion Road Trip, Karen. We haven't just thrown this together, right? This has not suddenly been, this would be lovely. Throw some people in a van and let's see what happens. It's not one of those things, right? No. And we won't be in a van.
And we won't be in a van in this van. Absolutely. But what we have done is developed a framework of things that we believe are really important and things that we've probably both seen come up in the work that we do. And we've kind of given 7 Fs and 7 Cs. That's kind of where we've kind of pulled it together. Yeah. Would you like to share what those are?
Yeah, absolutely. I like 7s. It's a good team number. So that's why we went for 7. And it worked with what we had. So this, which you won't be able to see on the film, but just to prove that we do have a plan. Our 7 Fs are fun, fitness, friends and family, faith and spirituality, professional fulfillment, finances, and fearlessness. Now, over a couple of days, we're not going to be able to absolutely nail every single one of these. But what we do want to do with people is we want them to have a look at it, probably within a sort of wheel of life type scenario. And then we're going to give you time to press pause, to review, to reflect, and to see where you want to go, and then reverse engineer it, probably on a couple of them. And those will be different for each person. And by the end of it, what we want is we hope is that you're going to have this moving forward with courage, collaboration, connection, community, commitment, culture, and compassion. So that's our 7 Fs and our 7 Cs. And as I say, we'll help you to reverse engineer your goals on some of those, some time out to really sit and spend time and think, what is it that really needs some attention in my life right now?
Yeah, fantastic. And of course, the beauty of doing it this way is that one, you have the time to reflect yourself and to have some ideas about that, and then also to have the energy from all the other people who are there, who, like you, are turning up because they want the support and they want the encouragement.
Yeah.
So I think there's some real power to be had in doing it this way.
Yeah, and time for fun, for decompression, because going deep on this stuff is, it's quite, it can weigh heavy and it's quite exhausting and emotional. So decompression time, bit of walking, getting outside.
Yeah, and some fun activities, because we wouldn't have it any other way.
Have it any other way.
Now, having talked about so many things, Karen, we've looked at our collaboration, we've looked at collaboration generally speaking in life, professionally and personally, and of course we touched on self-care. For those tuning in, what is one tip that you would want to leave them with around their self-care? What would be the absolute number one thing?
Oh, really easy. Get outside. Get outside. To bring in the collaboration, and for a bit of accountability for yourself, call a friend, go and meet them, go for a walk. Make today day one, not one day, and that's the best advice I can give anyone.
Love that, love that. Make today day one. That's the most important thing of all. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Karen. It's been fantastic having you on the, I want to say on and in the newsletter.
All over the newsletter.
And I am so looking forward to us getting started on our project together. It's going to be amazing. It really is.
It's going to be brilliant. I can't wait. So make sure you sign up. There's going to be a sign up. If you want to be first to hear about it, as I say, only 15 places maximum. So sign up and we'll do a short interview. Not an interview, but we're going to do a little bit of a vetting process, because with a small group, we need to be sure it's going to be cohesive and gel. But it's going to be great. So if you want to be first to hear about it, get your name on the list for the information when it comes out.
Sign up.